6 years of work, $228 million spent, not 1 metre of track laid. That is the final account of Auckland Light Rail, cancelled in January 2024. A few weeks earlier, a plan to replace the Cook Strait ferries was also stopped. That one had already cost the country hundreds of millions of dollars. 222 million of it went simply to cancel a shipbuilding contract. No ferries were delivered. Neither project failed because engineers could not build it. Both failed because New Zealand governments do not last long enough to finish things. This is the most expensive habit in the country, and almost nobody votes on it. The arithmetic at the centre of it is simple. A New Zealand parliament sits for 3 years. A big piece of infrastructure takes far longer than 3 years. Design, consenting, procurement, construction, commissioning. A motorway or a water treatment plant runs on a 10-year clock. The clock above it resets every 36 months. Now add a second feature of our system that visitors find strange. New Zealand has one House of Parliament, and only one. The upper house, the Legislative Council, was abolished in 1951. There is no Senate to slow anything down. A government with a majority can pass a law quickly. The next government can undo it just as quickly. Speed and reversibility are the same quality, seen from different years. Most countries have some friction in their system. New Zealand deliberately removed most of it. The result is a country that can change direction remarkably fast. That is genuinely useful when a policy is wrong. It is expensive when a bridge is half designed. Someone has now put a number on the cost. A study covered the 25 years to 2024. It counted projects promised, planned, postponed and pulled. The estimated waste sat between $11.8 and $17.6 billion. That is money spent on work that produced nothing you can drive on. Consultants paid, designs drawn, contracts settled, teams disbanded. Picture what that money would have built instead, and notice that no single decision caused it. Every individual cancellation looked responsible at the time. Costs had risen, priorities had changed, a mandate had arrived. The waste is not in any one choice, it is in the rhythm. New Zealanders have been asked about this rhythm twice. In 1967, a referendum proposed a 4-year parliamentary term. 68% of voters said no. In 1990, the same question came back. 69% said no again. Those results were not a mistake, and they deserve care. New Zealanders keep their governments on a short leash on purpose. There is no upper house, and no constitution in a single document. The election is the main check. Voters have decided twice that they would rather hold that check often. The 3-year term is not an accident of history. It is a deliberate national preference, and it has a price tag. So the country has spent decades trying to buy stability another way. In September 2019, a new body was created by law. The New Zealand Infrastructure Commission, T.Y. Hanger, began work. It was built to sit outside the political cycle. The Commission builds nothing itself. It publishes advice, a 30-year plan, and a public register of projects. By 2026, that register tracked close to 12,000 initiatives. The idea is simple and rather clever. If everyone can see the queue, cancelling a project becomes visible. Sunlight is being used as a substitute for a longer term. Whether that works is the honest open question. An industry conference met in Christchurch in 2026. The word that dominated it was bipartisanship. Not more money, not faster consenting. Agreement. The argument runs like this. Contractors will not train hundreds of people for a project that may vanish. They will not buy tunnel boring machines for a maybe. Every extra risk of cancellation is priced into every tender you receive. You pay for political uncertainty in the cost of concrete. That is the idea worth remembering from all of this. Infrastructure in New Zealand is not really limited by money or engineering. It is limited by the length of a promise, and the length of a promise here is 3 years, by public choice. Here is something concrete you can do with that. Next time a party promises you a road or a train, ask one question, not how much and not when. Ask whether the other side has agreed to it. If the answer is no, the plan has a 3-year expiry date. Send this to the person who complains about roadworks that never finish. Then look at the traffic cones once more. Somewhere above them, a 3-year clock is running.